Howdy, Ags from the tailgate, home of Aggie football. Guest Jay Train. What's up?
Yes,
Jay?
sir.
So today's episode brought to you by Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractors in Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life.
Shine that light, boy.
Love it. Email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Get on the YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. Send us some comments, questions. What do you want to see on the show? You got some questions for Jay? Send them out there. We'll put them on. So let's go to those comments. Comment section today brought to you by Providence Financial Coaching. Call Steve Gay, Certified Financial Counselor at 863-732-6224. Integrity, accountability, and resourcefulness in financial coaching. Visit their website at providencefinancialcoaching.com. Over 20 years of experience in corporate finance, Aggie owned and operated. All right, Greg Henry and Lucas James, welcome to the tailgate. New subscribers, Jay. We got a couple of new guys listening up. We got an LSU guy coming in here with a little comment. Swamp Cats. He says, not trolling, but when Max left, man, I was mad. In hindsight, pretty glad he's gone. Man, that's some harsh words for poor old Max Johnson, man. I'll tell you what, the other thing is, it's a package deal, Max and Jake. So, you know, hey, they could have had the both of them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think would have been okay.
Yeah.
Ben Capitolo. I probably screwed that name up.
Yeah.
Believe the
I'm glad it's not me.
Jimbo doesn't care about winning. He just cares about the money. Aggies deserve better. I still have the $1 to contribute to the fund for firing him. A couple of things on that. Look, he does care about the money, but I can't go as far as saying he doesn't care about winning. He just doesn't know how.
Exactly. He doesn't know how to, you know?
I think it's going to take more than $1 though on the contributions to get him out of here.
A lot of dollars.
I think you said you had a hundo, right? A hundo to it.
Yeah,
I got a hundo.
Yeah.
We're 300 in, 301, $301 in.
Yep.
Ready to roll, baby. Yeah, love it. I don't even know what this is. So hey Jay, obviously we're a football podcast around here, but you know, Aggie football sucks. So let's get a little basketball in, just a little hit on this one.
Okay.
Aggie basketball preseason ranked number 15 in the country. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
First game November 6th against A&M Commerce. Wade Taylor named preseason SEC Player of the Year. That's pretty good.
That is good.
It's one of those deals where it sounds like they got the right coach.
The difference the man makes, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. He doesn't get a whole bunch of 5-star players. He just gets a bunch of guys that fit his system, that believe in what he's saying, and they're winning.
Bro, I was just having this conversation with one of my Longhorn buddies last Friday. And I told him, he asked me, hey, man, you know, because we shoot the stuff with each other all the time, right? And he said, man, what's going on in Aggie Land? So, you know, we started going back and forward. And I told him, you know what scares me about Aggie Land and Longhorns? It seems like we're recruiting for stars, and Longhorns are recruiting for football players.
Well, it's working out for him.
You know,
it's working out for him.
And here's and you know, we'll get into this as the next over the next couple of weeks, right? But that's going to be one of the things that's going to be so critical going into this offseason, right? Because with the Longhorns coming into the SEC next year and the matchup at Kyle Field next year, which I hope is Thanksgiving weekend. You haven't gotten that confirmed yet, but I'm hoping it's back to Thanksgiving weekend. With that matchup coming up, and clearly, I mean, the head-to-head recruiting and all the different things there, if they're riding a high coming into this and we're riding a low and we don't do anything to change that, this thing could go south, and it could go south real fast.
Bro, it's going south right now.
I was about to say, what are you talking about going south?
Even worse. Even worse.
It's going south right now, bro. Like, hell, it's their bye week. Hell, I'm taking a bye week too.
Oh man! Hey, look. Before we get off of basketball, though, I do want to say this, man. I am excited about Aggie basketball, man. They've got every one of their players, other than Dexter Dennis, coming back. That was meaningful last year, and obviously they've added a couple of transfers and big time guys on that end as well. I'm excited about this basketball team. I love the coaching staff, like you said, Jay. I mean, they've done a great job. You see it in the way the kids play, how hard they play every day, and to me, that's pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. But we are a football podcast, so let's get back to that.
Let's do it.
Best news of the week this week: Aggies aren't going to lose.
They're not going to lose this week.
Mental break.
We're celebrating now.
So Jay, we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, man. I mean, I think there's nobody probably on the planet that's gotten more love for Moose than the guys here on this podcast right now. I mean, we've been talking about it, since the guy's been on campus, just how much we want to see him on the field and getting the ball thrown his way. It seems like for some reason, and I don't know, maybe he doesn't practice hard or something like that. I can't see that being possible with the way he plays. But that coaching staff doesn't like him. That coaching staff doesn't like him. Jimbo doesn't like him. He couldn't have buried him further down the depth chart last year until Anias gets hurt, right? Anias gets hurt. That's the only reason that the guy even gets on the field last year. And then he gets on the field and does what he did, right? Those plays, the things that he's doing, right? And then he benches him because he wants to wear sleeves in the cold. I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
Well, it's pretty simple to me. You don't want to win.
Well, there it is. We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what the kid does. Long as he's been a stand-up guy, as he can be a hard head. I mean, it's in his DNA. I mean, his dad, he has the it factor in the pro athlete gene. So of course he's not gonna be normal. But your job is to win, Jimbo.
And your job is to put those guys and the right guys for your team on the field and put them in a position to be able to make plays and do the things that they're good at, right?
Yes.
We can't get them the ball.
But we can't. We don't even try to get the ball. We don't even try to get them the ball.
No.
We don't play scripted for any of our receivers. It's just y'all go out, Max will get sacked, ball won't even come out. I mean, it's crazy.
It's the game of football. Like I keep repeating, the game of football has changed. These guys, these old school guys, in their prime, it was one or two guys that you had to distribute the ball to, give it to your horse, give it to your receiver. Now you got talent all over the field, which requires you to think now, to design and get schemes, and it's over them old school cats, man.
It requires them to think, right? It's not about, hey, you got to come here and do my scheme. No. It's like, hey, who do we have? And let's build the scheme around them. That's what it has. That's what it should be.
So Missouri, I'm gonna go to Missouri real quick. They got a receiver there, Luther Burton. The kid's a talent, and the coach knows this, and they draw up plays to get him the ball. I'm talking Missouri. We're talking about Missouri here. I know they don't have the talent A&M has, but they draw up plays to get their best player the ball. And the guy, he does amazing shit with the ball. I mean, I'm talking, you don't know where he's going.
Right.
It's
no different than what Alabama done to us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're saying receiver Burton. They have another Burton. You get your best player as the ball.
And And Jay, I want to hear what you have to say once I say this. All the recruits that Jimbo has brought into this program since he's gotten here. I mean, you can't count the damn stars, right? There's so many freaking stars. All those recruits, he has not had one single first round draft pick. As a matter of fact, you look at his offensive skill players. A-Chain went what, third round, right?
Look at him, he's blowing up.
Yeah, he's blowing up. He got out from underneath. All of a sudden, he's a freaking monster. Yeah,
They use him right.
he hasn't had a single wide receiver that comes out of this place and is drafted anywhere decently high, right? It's not that there's not talent. He has done nothing to promote them, to put their name out there, to get their stats out there. What, like, how does that happen? How does that happen? And there's been several folks that, you know, at the beginning of the season, Layden Robinson, right? And boy, man, there was a bunch of hype. He was going to be the first guard drafted last year, right?
Yep.
And then he played the season, and everybody's like, whoa,
I know.
never mind. To the point where he decided to come back,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Decided to come back. He was supposed to be a first round draft pick. They've watched him play. Oh, not no more, right? Who was the? Oh man,
They're playing him out of getting drafted or even going to the NFL.
and so that's the crazy part. The longer you play, like they're playing you out of your draft status, right? How does that happen, man? How does that happen?
Well, I got when he first came in. I have a little bit of history with Jimbo. When I was coming out of high school, he was the OC at LSU, right? So I kind of knew him already. But when he came in, his first major receiver guy was the Derek Dumas kid, remember?
Yeah, Dumas.
So I started following him while I was like, okay, so let me go watch this kid. So I was shot out to watch him, and I'm like, no, that's not a good choice. But what has happened is, dude, the power of YouTube and these kids creating these fancy highlight films. So it makes them look good on film, but in reality, it's not translating. So the coaches really don't have to do anything now as far as going to see these cats being played. So all they got to do is just sit behind the computer and just go scroll, and not go on doing the full approach.
Everything's on Huddle, man. It's not even hard.
Yeah.
Find whatever you want. Just go on Huddle. You find whoever all you want to watch, right?
Right.
But there's something different about going to and watching them in person and seeing them.
Yes.
Because you get you know everything, right? The size, the build, and the interacting with their teammates and how they approach the game, and like that's stuff that you can't get that from a highlight reel, right?
Right.
You can't get that.
See, my high school coach had always told me, boy, by the way, R.I.P. John Outlaw. He was out. We would for a week like we used to play Nacogdoches. He'd come to me, hey, I'm not gonna play you this game. Why, coach? These colleges don't want to see you dominate Nacogdoches. They want to see you dominate against the Longviews, the Tyler Lees, stuff like that. So we wasting our time against Nacogdoches.
Wow.
So as a youngster, that put in my mind, and that's what's happening now.
That's a great thing. One thing, and with Outlaw right there, right? Because it also tells you that he's a guy that's thinking about you too, though, right?
Absolutely.
And highlighting you and giving you the right opportunities, right? He's thinking about your recruitment.
Yeah.
And doing things to help that recruitment. You see some coaches, man, they don't do that. And I worked at several high schools and coached at several high schools, and some of the coaching staffs were really good about that. Gary Martell at Dieball was excellent in that regard. I mean, he did anything he could for those guys to get recognized. But I was also in other places that it wasn't the case, right?
Right.
And I think in the long run, if you're not doing the best thing for that kid, you're not doing the right thing, right?
No, it's not gonna translate.
And it's not, and winning and losing is important, man. But more important is those kids and that where they're gonna go with their life, right?
Winning is everything. What are we here for?
Right.
Like I don't understand losing. I don't get it losing. Like I don't want to lose. Like I hate losing like more than I do winning. You know what I mean? Like what are we here for? I thought we were here to win.
Yeah.
So, like I can go on and on about that. Like
I want to go one more thing on Moose, just real quick, and Corey, I'll let you answer first. Where does he stack up in this wide receiver room for the Aggies? I mean, what are we talking? Is it Nia Stewart, Moose? Is it Moose, Ania Stewart? Is it Stewart?
Moose is right up there. I mean, it's Moose, Anias, and Thomas top three. I mean, Thomas is playing his way, but we don't know because Moose never gets the ball. I mean, from what we've seen, a little bit of tape, he's great. I mean, you saw Jalen Preston play for the Aggies, went off against LSU 2 years ago, came back, never saw the field. Didn't understand that either. Moose got talent, can't get the ball, so I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't see him play enough.
Jay, where do you rank him?
Moose. Number one. I see him number one.
I have that feeling. I'm going to say two because I give so much respect to Anias, man. I think that dude's just an absolute football player. He's the heart and soul to me at times. So I give him all kinds of respect. But Moose is right there.
I look at it differently because I'm looking at the next level already.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at it at the next level already. Like I don't even look at it as A&M. I'm looking at that's going to translate to the next level.
That's a great point. And he's got every tool that you need to be a great pro, I think.
Yes.
All right. So look, this team is now coming off the bye. They've got South Carolina, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Abilene Christian, and LSU left, right? We're not even going to talk Abilene Christian ever because that's not even worth it.
That's like Nacogdoches, right?
That's my point. Keep going. I'm gonna be quiet. Keep going.
No. And so look, we're coming off this bye, and we're going to talk about what we think or what we want to see coming out of a bye. But Jay, I want to get your perspective, man, on the player side. Like for the players, for the team, what happens during this bye for the players? I mean, is this a situation where, hey, I got a couple extra days this week, so everybody's gonna go their own way. We're gonna try to get away from each other for a minute. Or is it a situation where it's the opposite, where, hey, everybody get your ass in here. This is our chance to change some things. Let's get some things working. Let's work harder and get right? Get focused. Jay, tell me about your experience through buys?
Well, from my experiences, man, is when you have the exit meeting, when everybody knowing that they're finna go on break. That's when your leaders come in and, hey, look, we all know we done got our ass kicked. So go home, get your whatever you got to do to get your minds together, get your bodies back together, knowing that it's gonna be a different approach when we come back. Like if you're not different, you're not gonna play.
And so look, man, and you hear it, and man, they talk about leadership all the time and player leadership, and it's key. I can imagine that you had guys on y'all's team that were sort of those guys, right? But let's say if there's a team, last year's Aggie, very young, right?
Right,
very young. And Anias, who's probably one of those leaders, got hurt early on in the process, right? So you're a team that doesn't necessarily have that guy. Were you ever part where it was maybe one of the coaches that ends up being that guy, right? When somebody recognizes the fact that there's a void there, and then he puts himself in there.
I look at it.
Can it happen? Can that happen at all? Can that happen?
No, it can happen, but I look at it like this, bro. Like, it's one of those deals where it kind of, if you don't have a kid or a young kid that's a leader at that point, it's a reflection of coaching. You know what I mean? Like, yes, a coach, it's his job to bring, it's his job, yes, to lead, but at the same time, dude, football players win football games. Coaches just put them in the right positions to execute. But
Right.
football players win football games.
No
Coaches
question.
coach. So it's a reflection on, at the end of the day, coaching. Because if you're not recruiting, if you're not, that's part of recruiting. You have to look for the leadership qualities too in these players too.
Absolutely. And you know, I think back to the coaching days, right? And you know, as a fan, a football season is a blink of an eye, right? That thing goes by so fast. You start, man, and you're like, and the next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving and this thing's about to be over, right? It's just it's so fast. But I don't think the fans understand the grind of what a football season is. Because you show up at the beginning of August and it is every day, football, 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 football. And you're working your ass off. And so to me, I remember even as coaches, when we got that bye in the middle of the season, there was a moment of, okay, I want everybody to go home for a day, even if it's, and get away from the other coaches, get away from the other players, spend time with family, you know, do something outside of football, mental break, come back and breathe. And it was and then it just re-energized you for the rest of the season. But a football season's a grind, man.
Oh yeah. Like I tell people this all the time. Like you said, August, man, it really starts in June.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You there 12-hour shifts. Study hall, weights, class, conditioning, eating, meetings, personal life. Like it's man, it's probably some of the hardest stuff that I've ever done in my life. Was the transitioning from high school to college. Like I was not prepared for that.
It does. It's very much a job. It's very much a job. It's 100% a job. And I don't think fans give the student athlete enough credit in that regard, right? It is, most of them wouldn't make it. Not most of them. The great majority of them. Forget athletics and their athletics. They would not make it.
No. I argue that argument with people all the time. It's like, look, like I can do your job with ease. You couldn't come in my world and do what I do.
Right.
It's that demanding. Like I know you couldn't do what I do, but I can come and do what you do with ease. All you got to do is just all you have to do is give me the blueprint, give me the playbook, and I will outdo you in your job.
Yeah, they wouldn't last. They wouldn't make it. They wouldn't last. Jay, let me ask you this. Anything from going from Fran to Sherman, any differences in how they approach the bye weeks?
I mean, I took my own approach. I mean, I was that guy that I done what I wanted to do that was best for me. And my approach was I did the Dennis Rodman approach. I went out and partied and got my mind and got my stuff away. I got away completely from football. Like I didn't want anything to do with football.
You know, there is something to be said about that. Like I said just a little while ago, right? I mean, that season is such a grind, man. You got to do it. You got to take that time.
Yeah, you have to. That mental, the physical, like, man, it's like I go back sometime when I look at football right now and look at it like, man, how in the hell did I do that such a long period of time like that? You know, but it's definitely a different grind for sure.
One day we're going to talk about the toll that took on you, by the way. One day. So how about the current players right now in the environment that we live in, right? In the football environment that we're in with the transfer portal and the NIL and everything else during this bye week. I mean, are these guys talking about, especially in a situation like we're in here at A&M, right, Corey?
Yeah, we're 4-3.
Yeah, the season's going a
Not
little
what we
rough right now,
expected.
right? Not what we expected. Are they talking amongst themselves, man? Are they like, man, you think about transferring? What's going on with you, man? You talking to anybody? What do you think's going on in there?
I mean, the way the portal is set, the way it's set up now in 2023, absolutely they're talking about getting the hell up out of there. I mean, it's a money game now.
Well, it's a good thing A&M has a lot of it.
Yeah, it's a money now.
And maybe that's the reason some can stick around because, yeah, maybe I'm not getting my playing time, but I'm getting my NIL, man.
Man, you can imagine Moose. It's all about NIL for Moose because his dad played professional football. He should have some money set aside, right?
Yeah.
So Moose.
But at the same time, though, I mean, I'm sure I can kind of speak on that a little bit. You know, I don't know the truth about it, but I mean, at the same time, that's Moose's career too.
Right.
You know, like as a dad, you want them to go out and get their bread themselves.
Right.
So he's a brand within him. He's a brand within himself.
Now Moose. So let's just keep it on Moose. So let's say he does have an NIL. I have no idea what kind of numbers we're talking. I don't know if we're talking $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, whatever it is. But you mean tell me the talent he has, another program like a LSU, who receivers that are putting guys into the NFL that are making a difference, they wouldn't come up to Moose and say, "Hey, you're making $100,000 at A&M. We'll give you $100,000 at LSU, and plus we'll get you in the league." Right?
Correct.
Why wouldn't they do that? Why didn't that happen? We got 4 receivers right now, 4 or 5 guys that maybe one day could be in the NFL. I don't know if Evan Stewart, I think he could be. Noah Thomas is showing some flashes here and there. Anias, I don't know what Anias is going to do. I think he might be a special teams player right now. I don't know. I have no idea what he's going to do.
You know, it's interesting to me though, and wide receivers, especially wide receivers, go back, I don't know, whatever number of years. It's always the same programs that are producing big-time wide receivers, first-round draft pick wide receivers to the NFL. It's always the same program.
Yeah, besides Mike Evans, who we had?
Nobody.
That's a good question.
We had guys playing in the
Christian
NFL.
Kirk.
Kirk's doing well. Yeah, Kirk's doing well. Sorry.
And there's some guys that, I mean, Reynolds has stuck around and he's
actually having a pretty good season.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good season for the Lions. Under our favorite Aggie coach of all,
Dan Campbell.
We better go get him.
Don't even go. We talked about it earlier. He's like, we're not getting him from Detroit. It's like, you got to
leaving that.
You have to at least make the phone call. You got to leave. You got to make the call. Give Dan.
Hey, he's not making what he's making in Detroit. What the Aggies can pay him.
There you go.
You look. Those two are great points. Those are 2 great points. You have to make the call, and you can offer him the pay.
Come on, bro. That's the dream job
for him.
For him.
And he's always been in the pros, coaching, right? He's always been there. He doesn't have to do the recruiting side of this thing, which is a monster, right? Like
that's why you hire people to recruit.
There you go.
I have a hard time thinking he's leaving that gig right now. He's got that thing flying high, by the way. Those guys are playing excellent football right now.
Bro, that's the dream job, bro.
You think the Aggie job is his dream job?
That is the dream job, to play for an institution like Texas A&M and come and coach it. That's the dream.
The fact is that in college you've got one thing that you'll never have in the pros, and that is complete autonomous control of your entire program. No GMs, no whatever, forget it. That is yours, and you can do whatever you want in college. But
that's my point.
It's a lot more work too.
You think so?
I think so. I think the recruiting. I think college coaches right now have it as hard as anybody because the recruiting thing and the NIL thing and the transfer thing. They cannot stop. They have to be 100% all the time on.
Want me to tell you the trick?
Tell me.
Money.
You got to be relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You got to go get the kids, man.
And say anything you want. Say anything you want. Clearly, somehow, Jimbo is relatable to these kids because he finds a way to make those contacts and make the matches and convince the parents, whatever it is, to send their kids to him at A&M, in spite of the fact that the results hadn't been there, right?
Well, you look.
I mean, you just made it sound like a used car salesman.
That's what I thought he was. That's exactly right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
He sounds like one, I'll tell you, every time he opens his mouth. All right, so coming out of this bye, man, what do we want to see program wise? Just start big picture. What do we want to see? Corey, what do you got?
It's like a broken record, man. You want to see the offense play better, the offensive line. They're terrible. They can't block anything. I don't know how you fix that. You can't fix it. I don't think you can fix it overnight. You want to see the ball going to the best players. You're not going to see that. So, I mean, the only good news is the defenses we're playing aren't as good as what we've already played. I mean, South Carolina struggles. Mississippi State's down this year. Ole Miss doesn't play defense. And LSU hadn't played defense this year. So that's the only good news is that the defenses we're playing are worse. But I don't expect to see much difference. They haven't shown any changes throughout the season. They've gotten worse as the season goes on. So I don't know.
All right, so you don't expect to see anything different.
No.
Jay, what would you like to see different?
Bro, I mean, I would just like to see the kids happy again. That's all. As far as, I mean, beating the rest of the schedule that we're playing is not impressive to me. So, I mean, I just want to see the kids happy again, honestly.
You know, that's a great point. Like, how about a fun brand of football, right? Like actually entertaining. We're entertaining for the players, you know.
Well, what is that? What is that? I don't understand.
You know what that is? That's high flying. That's moving. That's trick plays. That's doing things.
That's young coaches. These old coaches. They ain't doing that shit. I don't see it.
And you're right. I mean, I'm not saying that I expect that, but that should be what they're thinking about this offense. Like, we need to do something to transform, and specifically this offense, right? Let's have some fun. These kids aren't having fun out there, man.
Right. You can tell, man. Like it's. I mean, losing. Let's be honest. Losing sucks.
Yes,
it sucks.
It sucks. It sucks for us. It sucks for everybody.
Right. I would just want them to just get a smile back on their face and start. You know what I'm saying? Just start winning and get some momentum going into the off season, man. That's all.
Yeah.
I got a question for Jorvorskie. Hey, Jorvorskie, have you ever played behind a really bad offensive line? Like a really bad offensive line?
Yes, I have.
What is that like? I mean, if you're right now at A&M and you're a running back and you know they're not going to block anyone, you know you're going to get lit up every time you get the ball. What's going through your head? Are you like, man, don't give me the ball? Or are you like, what the hell? What do you do? What goes on in your head? I don't understand.
Man, it really it tests your character, man. It's just one of those deals where, man, it's a team sport. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is just encourage your guys to get better. That's all you can do.
And look, man, I did it with Qataris at die ball.
Right.
Especially that first year we were there, we're sitting there, we're trying to get that offensive line going. That offensive line when I showed up was pretty darn soft. And as the season went on, they got better and better. But my point was in practice, then Kiki, man, at the beginning of the year, he'd want to get off on him, man. He started getting off on. I had to pull him off to the side. I was like, you know what, man? They're not going to respond to that. You got to pull them up, right?
Absolutely.
You got to encourage them and pull them up.
Yeah. And you have to become a leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's the thing I don't understand about our offensive line. We have the talent. The talent should be there, right? You look at these guys; they're big enough. They move. It's all up here, right? Is it all up here or what? What's wrong? What's going on?
It's both because like I said, man, I'll always go back to coaching. Like if the scheme isn't working, change it. If they're not, if we have proof that we were better last year, opposed to this year, go back to the scheme that happened last year. Like, but it goes to what you said, that I still hadn't watched the interview because it still frustrates me that he said you don't make adjustments. Right.
I mean, better focus on offense. It's fine. It's been playing pretty darn good. I mean, they're, you know, they're not. We are you know, but if they I see it from the defense. The connection. Well, we're going to do this. We want to and that's not going to get here a little bit. I think that I would be in the defense is I want to be better. I don't know. I described all of them. I don't have it with other than the ball. The last 2 weeks, right? I want to see them continue to go out and do their thing, continue to play hard, continue to play better. And I think that's not going to be done. That's my thing. That's my thing. I sort of on this, right? We're not about it's back. I think you know, it's too much. And 75. I think 75. Okay. On Monday. I think it's a lot of players who don't do it. Can you say like I'm going to say my team, I think, but in the defense, I don't know how to go. And you know, I don't know. I don't know what this game is. It is Penn State's offense any good,
Right? They haven't played anybody that sort of
Right.
tells you whether they're any good or not. So that's what I don't know. But I would think Ohio State's a better team. They've got the better receivers. Everybody loves that receiving crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that dude's been making some plays the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Harrison Marvin.
Right.
Good. That's a pretty good game. Jorvorskie, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Hey, my man. So let me ask you this: Ohio State, Penn State today.
Ooh.
What do you like?
Oh, Ohio State.
There you go. You like Ohio?
Man, a lot of people like Ohio. That makes me.
They're at home.
That makes me,
I'm gonna always go for my pro athlete kids, you know.
yeah, and they've got them. They've got
And
them.
they got them.
They've got them.
We'll do that.
Hey, but you know what? The one thing that Franklin has done well at Penn State is also bring in some pro athletes because the tailbacks over there are legit. They've got some offensive line talent that's legit. I mean, that defense has got some players that's going to be playing on Sundays as well.
Absolutely.
Two teams we're very familiar with: Tennessee, Bama this week. Big game rivalry, the whole thing, right? Bama's -9.
Yeah.
-9, pretty big spread, 47.5 on the over-under. Jay, what do you think about this game, man? Tennessee, Bama. We know these two teams.
I mean, I'm not sold on Bama's quarterback, so man, this can go either way.
I'm not sold on Tennessee's quarterback. To be honest with you.
It can go either
I
way.
think it'll be a low scoring game. I think this will be a very low scoring game. We played both teams A&M has. I think we could have won both games. A&M probably could have or should have won both games. We had as much or more talent in Tennessee, and Alabama were on par with them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the only thing that I think is important in this conversation. Both teams, by the way, pretty good defenses.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think is important in this conversation is Nick Saban's a better coach, has done it for longer. You know what you're going to get from him. Bama. That's what I'm.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. I mean, Saban's got the pedigree. He's a great coach, but Heupel ain't that far behind him. I like Heupel. What he's done
is not that far behind the guy
with
eight
talent.
8 championships.
What he's
How many does Heupel have again?
Hey, Heupel's just building that program back up, man. When he first came in there, he lost half his players, transferred out.
Agreed.
Look what he's done.
He's done a good job.
He's putting guys in the pros right now.
But the difference is we're going to see how good of a coach Nick Saban is now with the portal.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And everything but you know, and he's adjusted, right? He's gone through those times. He started, man. It was a different era. And he did, and you guys talked about it last week, the things that he did offensively in his shift, right?
Yeah, he's adjusted.
If I'm putting money on this game, I'm putting it on Nick Saban. I'm not putting it on Heupel. I'm sorry.
9 points.
9 points is a lot.
That's what it is. Hey, is Nick Saban a better coach than Kirby Smart?
Man, Kirby's doing a job, man.
I don't know. Got me.
He's got some skins on the wall at this point.
All right, go ahead.
How about another SEC matchup? Mizzou, South Carolina. Mizzou's favored by 7.5. 58 over. Look, Missouri is a team that I had no expectations for this year, and they have been playing pretty darn good football. Jay, what do you think about this matchup, man?
I'm gonna take Missouri.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'll tell you for sure, 100% for sure, they've got the best player on the field in Luther Burden.
Oh, so you're gonna talk about their kicker?
No.
Okay.
They've got the best player on the field in Luther Burden, who's going to be a first-round draft pick when he comes out. I like Mizzou.
I don't know if he will.
Ole Miss, Auburn. Ole Miss favored by 6.5, right? 55.5 over under.
I don't get it.
Ole Miss, Auburn.
I'm gonna take Auburn.
See, I don't get it. Jorvorskie, the home field advantage make that big a difference? Does home field?
Big,
because
big.
I don't understand how Georgia goes to Auburn and has a tough game against Auburn, but Auburn comes here and we watch Auburn play A&M, and we made Auburn look like that Nacogdoches team you talked about.
Well, you got to think about it as chess too. So a lot of teams and a lot of coaches don't want to show a lot of their formations, a lot of their schemes early on in situational football at times too.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm gonna go against you. I like Ole Miss in this one because Auburn. I don't think they have the horses on this race right now. I don't think Hugh Freeze got the players yet. I think I like Lane Kiffin's offense. Auburn can't. They haven't impressed me at all with their offense.
I'm thinking the over, man. Thinking the over. I think both of these teams. I don't like. Ole Miss doesn't play defense, man. It's fine. These guys are going to score.
Auburn plays defense.
Duke FSU, big ACC matchup. FSU's favored by 14, 49 over under.
A lot of points. What do you think, Jorvorskie?
I'm gonna go with Florida State.
You know, remember what I said about Luther Burden?
Yeah.
Florida State's got two of those stats. Florida State's got two of those stats.
But,
yeah.
No, but I'm going Florida State.
What?
Yes.
You've been on Duke all year.
I think Elko's done a phenomenal job at Duke. They don't have anybody that can cover those two wide receivers anywhere on that roster.
It's not about covering them. You got to get the pressure. You get that pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback can't see him. What happens?
When the quarterback, all he's got to do is launch it. It doesn't matter.
You got to launch it in the right area code. It's got to be right zip code.
It's a big area code with those two receivers.
Hey man, we got an ex-Aggie playing over there in Duke, by the way. He might get a pick today.
Oh, which one?
Miles.
Oh, Miles. No, he's not going to get one.
He's already got one.
He's not going to get one.
He might.
Utah, USC out west. USC's favored by 752 over under.
USC.
Utah beat USC twice last year. Y'all know this? Are y'all aware?
They had
of
a
this?
different quarterback last year too.
Yeah.
USC's defense hasn't stopped a soul all year long.
Utah's offense can't score.
They just took a whooping 40-something to 20-something last week by Notre Dame. Utah.
USC at home. He just said home field makes a big difference.
Ask when the other team is more physical than you are and just physically whoops your ass, that makes a difference too.
These guys will run around them too fast.
That they do have talent now. That speaking of receiving crews, that receiving crew for USC, they've got some cats. Another team we're familiar with, Clemson, Miami. Clemson at Miami, right?
Clemson at Miami.
Clemson's favored by 3. I think they're getting a lot of respect from the Clemson years, the last few years. Yeah. Clemson at Miami. Jay, who do you like in this?
I'm gonna take Miami at home.
That's what I say. I like Miami also. I think Miami's got some dogs down there. I think they're good.
Yeah, I agree. I would take Miami in this game at home plus the points. I mean, I just think that's a good mix for that combination right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe at some point was a rivalry game. It's not really a rivalry game. Michigan and Michigan State, man. Such a not rivalry game. The spread is 24. 24.
Michigan State's at home. Jorvorskie, who you like?
Michigan State at home?
Yeah. In 24.
Oh, I'm going Michigan.
Yes. We're still taking Michigan.
Wait, Michigan State at home?
We're still taking Michigan.
That's just going to be a good old-fashioned butt whooping.
Okay.
That's no question. That's the easy pick.
There you go.
UCF at Oklahoma. I'm always going to bring the Oklahoma Sooners back into this. The boss man, my boss man, he's a big-time Sooner. He's got tickets to the game. Dude, they are flying high, coming off the win against Texas and get a bye afterwards. What's going to happen here? Who you got? UCF, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's favored by 17.5.
I'll probably take the over in this game because I think it'll be a high-scoring game. What's his name? The old coach from Auburn's coaching UCF.
Mm-hmm. Malzahn.
Yeah, it's going to be a real high-scoring game.
Yeah, I think it'll be high-scoring.
Yeah, but Oklahoma wins.
A lot of points, man. I think Oklahoma, they play good. Give me UCF in the points.
Jay, what do you think?
Oklahoma win.
Yeah, they'll win.
Love it.
I'll take 17 points.
100%.
17 points, a lot of points.
Last game here for today. Texas at Houston. At Houston, the new Big 12 team, Houston. Texas is favored by 23.5. That's a lot of freaking points. Over under 60.5. Jay, what do you think? Texas at Houston. Does Texas bounce back after the Oklahoma loss? The box?
Yeah, they will. Houston not as good.
Corey?
A lot of points.
A lot of points.
23.5 points. I think Houston covers. Texas wins.
Texas wins. Houston covers. I agree with that. Questions from the tailgate brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie dreams, custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in the Brazos Valley. If you're looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Visit them on Instagram at Frida.Homes or give Justin a call at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves their Frida Homes. All right. Any current Aggies getting drafted this year after this season? Jay, who's getting drafted?
Is this Cooper's last year?
Could be. I think he's still got an eligibility left, but
he gone.
Listen,
if he leaves, he's gone.
His stock's never going to be any higher than what it is today, right?
Need money.
Yeah. Other than that, that's the only one I see.
I think McKinley Jackson will get drafted somewhere. It won't be early, but I like the way McKinley's played.
Anais is gonna get drafted, man.
I don't think they're nice.
Anais is getting drafted. I don't know. It's not gonna be early, but Anais is getting drafted. He's
Nah.
too much of a football player. Somebody's taking him.
He'll be invited to a camp somewhere.
I'm iffy on that.
What about Damani?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Who else? Anybody else? Who else did you say? Chappelle?
I don't think he'll
No.
come out. I don't think he'll come out. And if he did, he wouldn't get drafted probably.
We got a couple offensive linemen that are eligible.
Layden Robinson's not gonna get drafted.
No.
He's not gonna get drafted. And he was considered to be a #1 pick 2 years ago. And the coaching's been so good for him that he now is not even gonna get drafted. It's great.
Our punter?
Our punter couldn't kick it past 30 yards to last week, so no, our
Okay.
punter sucked.
Got
Question number 2: do you believe that anything that comes out of Jimbo's mouth is actually true? Jay, I want to hear that. Anything that comes out of his mouth, anything true. And let me tell you the backdrop on this. So this past week, all kinds, okay, when Connor gets hurt, Jimbo said, oh no, he's gonna be fine day to day, don't worry about it. The truth comes out, dude's out for the season. This past week, Nolan and Edge, oh no, they're all gonna be fine, they're gonna be back. Who knows? They probably won't play.
I don't know.
Anderson, who knows? We'll see this coming week. But like, it seems like everything that he says is just BS. I can't trust one thing that comes out of his mouth. Jay, what do you think?
You want my truth?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even listen to Jimbo.
Well, there you go. He didn't have to believe anything.
And that's probably the right approach.
Yep.
I don't even, I've been there and done it. So I know when I'm getting BS when I'm not getting BS.
I got one question for Jorvorskie. before we
Used
go.
car salesman. Go ahead.
Hey, Jorvorskie, is Jimbo our coach next year?
No.
There you go. That's all I needed. ...
TBD, buddy. Gigamags, AP, J, C Money, signing out from the tailgate.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Jorvorskie.